Essentially, there's a certain trend that happens where most of the things that have stuck and that have been the most successful. All right, let's bring these up here again. We got paleo. All right, we've got Mediterranean diet. I mean, all these are very similar. What are the similarities here? We've got minimal amount of grains and processed foods. We've got an average to a higher amount of protein, especially things like the metabolic diet, very high protein. High pro, okay. Anabolic diet, carb cycling, also high protein. South Beach, also very high protein. Okay, there we go. Paleo, also high protein. Although you can do paleo and you can be vegan, which would make it not high protein. I think you could do the same too with South Beach, but higher protein than the normal for a lot of plants. And then we go into the convenience diets. Okay, that's going to be things like where can I write this? Where can I write this? I'm going to actually get rid of our little avatar here. Get rid of Terry. I'm going to write it over here. Okay, this over here is going to be under convenience. All right, we got Weight Watchers. There we go. We got Jenny Craig. We got what is it? That popular one? Wow, where they send you the food. I can't remember it. But anyway, we got other Jenny Craig like things. Okay. We got the fast food diet. And I'll never remember the tagline that I read about like wanting to eat this, not that. It's like lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks while eating nothing but fast food, enjoying places like McDonald's, Arby's, and I don't know, and Pizza Hut. And I was like, what? I'm getting that, right? Because that just sounded amazing to me. Okay, I mean, Chicago boy, love to eat way too much. I still love to eat. I never stopped loving eating, okay? That's probably where I only lost 105 pounds, not like 140, all right? But essentially, it's going to come down to what do you want, all right? I love to be strong. I love to be fast. And then, too, I actually noticed, on a side note, when I got down to a six-pack, my clientele actually changed a great deal. A lot of the people that were out of shape, which were the people that I wanted to help out the most, didn't want to train with me. They were intimidated by me. So I found out that I needed to be healthy. I needed to be, definitely nowhere near 300 pounds. But if I was so lean that I had a six-pack, had veins in my arms, veins in my thighs and stuff, people just saw me as this bodybuilder that was on this pedestal of that I didn't like food, that I just didn't, whatever, right? They just thought that I was one of those super freaks that I actually had to put on about 10, 15 more pounds from that state. And then things got back to normal again, okay? My clients started to like me again and so on. Also, on another note, when I was that lean, I was kind of a jerk. I mean, being honest, kind of a jerk. Because you know what? Anabolic diet, I was just going over this with a client. One thing that we have to remember about anabolic, metabolic, when we talk about eating a lot of animal proteins, to some extent, you are what you eat. I know it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but when I say that, I mean, when you eat a lot of red meat, you eat a lot of chicken, a lot of things like that, over an extended amount of time, and then too, you get very lean as well. If you get lean like a bull, okay, and you get on a lot of muscle like a bull, you start turning into a bull. People didn't like me being a bull, all right? They liked me because I had a balance of being happy, having lots of energy. I was stern and hard when I needed to be, but then also I knew when to back off. So, and that's going back to what? It's going back to hormones. Hormones. Sorry you had to hear that. Yeah, so seriously, it's going back to hormones, okay? Let's underline that. All these different things are going to create certain hormonal reactions. When it comes to the abs diet and all the rest of these, one of the hormones that you're going to get a great benefit out of is going to be insulin, okay? Insulin is actually going to be down-regulated, and this is the real meaty stuff, okay? This is the good stuff. But anyway, insulin is going to be down-regulated. You're not going to have a whole lot of insulin, so when it comes to you getting rid of your belly fat, that's one of the biggest, most important hormones, okay? On the same token, you're still going to maintain natural amounts of estrogen, usually, and then also testosterone, okay? You might even promote more of that to happen. That's one of the things about this. When it comes to over here, okay, the convenience side, the Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, fast food diet, what else? Vegetarian, I think that's pretty convenient. You know, some people say that. Some people say that that's also a great way to lose weight. I know tons of, not vegetarians, but carbitarians, okay? Carbitarians, you won't lose weight being a carbitarian. Vegetarian, meaning you eat a diet mainly composed of vegetables, yes, you will lose weight, okay? And then also not having any animal products, right? Because that's where a lot of your fat is going to lie. So by going vegetarian, that is a way to go about it, because you just say, hey, look, I'm not going to eat animal products. Simple. It's going to cut down your choices. You're going to end up with less fat. In most cases, you're going to end up with less overall calories and carbohydrates, which means that in a lot of cases, it's going to help us out on this hormonal side when it comes to keeping down insulin, okay? True vegetarians usually don't have a large waistline, all right? Because now carbitarians, that's totally different, all right? They're promoting a lot of insulin. But vegetarians, they're usually going to be pretty lean, okay? They're going to be pretty trim. Let's go about some pros and cons here. Let's go into the convenience here. Most of these, hormonal output, we have no control, all right? Weight Watchers, it's going by points. That means if you want all your points in apples, go for it. You want all your points in steak, pizza, beer, go for it. Health is out of the equation with this, all right? Long-term success is out of the equation with this. And then also being able to backtrack and make sure that what you're actually doing is getting you closer to the type of body that you want. It's also a mystery here. The only thing it is, it's very straightforward. Weight Watchers, misspelled again. Weight Watchers, okay? Watching your weight. It's going to help you to lose weight. Will it help you to lose your pooch? I don't know. Will it? Will it help you to lose your saddlebags? I don't know. Will it get you generally smaller if you follow it and you continue to lose weight? Yes. But will you become a smaller version of your same self? Hard to tell. That's why you got to know what type of foods it's going to take for you to get that certain hormonal response in order for you to get the body that you want. That's the key to it. Same thing when it comes to Jenny Craig. It just makes lean food taste good, all right? Fast food diet, same thing. We're just looking at calories, okay? Vegetarian, we're generally cutting back calories and so on and so forth. But also, what type of hormonal situation are we setting ourselves up for? Is it a very testosterone dominant? Very hard to do. Estrogen dominant. Somewhat difficult to do that as well. It all depends upon what foods you choose, okay? Are you getting in enough nuts? Are you getting in enough healthy fats? You know, coconut oil, things like that. Your things like your coconut oil and other saturated fats and cholesterol, actually, that's how you're going to be able to get, the right building blocks to create the hormones that you might need to carry in your daily processes, okay? 80% rule, once again, whatever you do to lose weight, write this part down. Whatever you do to lose weight or to get healthier, get in shape, to gain muscle, what have you, you have to follow at least 80% of that to maintain those results. So if you do the abs diet, okay, and you lose 25 pounds doing that, you switch over to Weight Watchers, there's a high likelihood that you're actually going to put some weight on when you switch over to Weight Watchers. Why is that? Now you're counting points. So if you're doing beer, if you're doing whatever, boom, you're going to lose it. But if you're counting points with the same principles of the abs diet, now you can actually do that. Now we can have some transition, all right? So I hope that this helped you guys out to be able to figure out why you constantly are stuck, why you constantly keep yo-yoing up and down, okay? Why you constantly keep gaining and losing the same 10, 20, 30 pounds. It's because you got to freaking stick with it, okay? If it doesn't work after 4 weeks, throw it out. Do something else. But before you even get into it, let's do the homework. let's figure out, what do I want? Who am I? Okay. If I want a smaller tummy, you might not want to look at one of these. Okay. You want to look at something that's going to be hormonally driven. All right. If you want smaller hips, maybe we need to look at something else. All right. If we want to do hips, maybe we should look into something like the Asia study. All right. All right. Maybe we need to look at low fat. Maybe we need to look at vegan. All right. So that's it. Right. Let's say we're looking at, it's a pretty small list, right? Let's say we're looking at smaller hips. Okay. We need to be looking at these things. Asia study, low fat, vegan. What's cool about the Asia study? Very low in meats, very high in vegetables. But also, if you notice, there's a good amount of rice and things like that. It's not low carb, okay? This is not low carb, that isn't, that isn't. These three are not low carb. If you don't have a problem with your waist, the problem is with your hips. You probably don't have problems with insulin. Probably don't even need to worry about it, especially if you are active, okay? All three of these, by the way, this works if you're at least somewhat active. When it comes to the Asia study, all right, they eat meat about once a month. And how much do they eat? They eat about 2 ounces of it. Red meat, that is. You know, same thing with chicken, okay? Chicken, it's maybe once a day. Once again, 2 to 4 ounces, okay? Meat is more of an accent in Asian culture. It's very low fat overall. Only fats you're going to get is from like stir-fried chicken and so on and so forth. Not very much animal fats. So you're getting fats from the vegetables, okay? They're getting fats from vegetable oil, you know, rice bran oil, things like that. Low fat. Well, hey, if I don't equip you with the tools in order to make estrogen, to make testosterone, then I'm effectively forcing my body to not create very much of them. Be careful with this, though, because you're also going to be forcing your body to possibly make less thyroid hormone, make less endorphins, you know, adrenaline, things like that. So you can't go too low on your fat, but lower fat, give it less building blocks in order to overproduce that estrogen, then it's going to help you to bring that down. So you got problems with your hips and with your thighs. Let's look at the estrogen. Okay, you got problems with your waist. Let's look at the testosterone. Now, if we look at the size of this list versus the other list, we can clearly see in popularity and also through replication what are most people dealing with. They're usually dealing with belly fat. Okay. That's usually a common thing. For me, it was the hip fat. Okay, my butt was just way too fat. I was tired of having 50-inch waist. It sucked going to big and tall stores. All right, I really need to get rid of them. I knew from dietetics that meant I needed to probably go with this because I love meat. So that would be a nope. I love meat. I'll eat a 12-ounce steak every day if I could afford it and if it was healthy, okay? Vegan, once again, love meat. Can't do it. Low fat, boom, there we go. Sometimes though, especially when it comes to the estrogen, you might have to go as far as this. So maybe don't put a line through it yet. So that's kind of a last resort if you're going to use it for weight loss, okay? Once again though, let's remember 80% rule, baby. If I start eating a whole bunch of fat, which I started to do more so when I went into the elimination diet and started to eat more fat. Oh, interesting how the hips started to get bigger, right? Everything else got smaller, but my hips stayed the same and got bigger at times as well, but I didn't see very much movement in them. So you got to pick your battles, okay? Do you want to battle the weight itself? Do you want to battle the hips, what have you? This works a little bit better for me, okay? Going lower fat, but then on the same token, cutting out the animal protein, cutting out the animal things like the dairy. Dairy was no good for me, all right? Vegan. If I lose weight going vegan and I start eating meat even once a day, you're going to see some rebound, all right? So just be careful with that. Okay, so now it's up to you guys, all right? I want you to give me some feedback. Let me know what you might want more information on, what types of things you have questions about. You can go ahead and post the comments below the Facebook video or wherever you're watching this at, okay, the YouTube video. Go ahead and post some comments. Let me know what you think and what you want to see next of, okay? I plan on doing another video. You're gonna see it in a couple days. Stay tuned for that. But go ahead, go ahead, leave me a comment, reply to this email, okay? Let me know exactly what you think about this video, if you thought it was helpful, and then to what you would like to know more of in the next one, okay? We're gonna dive deeper into some things. We're gonna go over some, some macronutrient ratios and things like that, give you the true tools if you're looking to lose body fat, if you're looking to be a better cyclist, if you're looking to put on muscle. We're gonna dive into that. All right, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you at the workout.